Amazing. So what is sauerkraut? Sauerkraut is a fermented cabbage. Sounds a bit gross, but it's not. It tastes amazing. You can find it on hot dogs. You can put it on hot dogs. You can put it in Reuben sandwiches with pastrami and pickles and Dijon mustard, mayonnaise. You can put it on anything. You can eat it by itself. It's delicious. It's part of the fermented vegetable family. So other things along those lines are things like kimchi, which are really popular and really tasty. So we'll do a video on kimchi coming up soon. So this is a great introduction into fermenting your own vegetables at home. Nice and easy. Cabbage, salt, shredded up, left in this lovely sunny warm weather we're getting at the moment in the UK. So it's a perfect time to ferment your own stuff when it's nice and warm outside, because it's going to help speed up the fermentation process, keep it at the right temperature, and help all the good bacteria do its work. Sauerkraut is also good for you because it's got good bacteria in it, and it's going to help your stomach. So here we go. Let's make some, oh, I nearly said kimchi. Let's make some sauerkraut. Okay, big strong push. Going to cut the cabbage in half again. Keep the chopping board tidy, saves getting injured. Cut the other half in half, so you've got 4/4. Remove the root from the cabbage. Take away little bits off the board. Cut each core out of each quarter. Okay, I'm going to use a Chinese mandolin because it gets nice consistent slices. And I love consistency. But this spins like a razor blade, so you have to watch your fingers. Every slice is the same size. Oof. If you feel safer with a knife, then use a knife. Right, I'm not going any further. I'm left this much. What I'm going to do is cut that by hand, because I don't want to cut my fingers. Next we're going to add the cabbage into a little bowl. Oh, as a little side note, make sure everything's clean. Clean chopping board, clean jar, clean hands. If you haven't got a Chinese mandolin and you're going to cut it by hand, you can cut it into smaller pieces, so you haven't got to lift the knife so far. Make sure you've got a flat surface so it sits nicely on the board. Hold it and then roll the knife like this, using your fingers to guide the cabbage back. And that way you can control the size of the slices. Start slow, and then as you get faster, with more chef skills, you can speed it up. Okay, it's always important to clean as you go. Okay, so let's grab the scales, turn them on, grab another bowl to weigh the cabbage in, zero it, okay, so now we're going to add the salt. That's a really important part of the process. The salt needs to be exactly the right way, so you're going to need to weigh the cabbage and then calculate 2% weight of the cabbage, and that'll be your salt amount. So we have got, let me work this out, we have got 987 grams of cabbage. Fact. We are going to times that by 0.2, and that says 197. What you're going to need to do is use that as a 19.7, so just under 20 grams of salt. Make sure you don't put 197 grams in. Add the salt. We're going to mix the salt firmly into the cabbage, and you really want to give this a work in, a bit like you're going to massage someone you don't really like. Give them some punishment. You want to kind of crush and bruise that cabbage to break it down. You want to do this for about 3 to 5 minutes. So So why is it so important to put the right amount of salt in? So you need a 2% salt ratio to the amount of cabbage that's going into the sauerkraut. This 2% salt stops the bad bacteria growing, allows the good bacteria to grow, which are really good for your stomach, and it also gives the cabbage some flavour as it ferments. Okay, so next take a clean sterilised jar. You're going to start lowering your cabbage into there. It's already after you've crushed it down with salt, it's already starting to look more like sauerkraut than it does a cabbage. And it's really important to push the cabbage down so the water rises above the cabbage. So that's all natural water that's come out of the cabbage from the salt. Okay, once the cabbage pushed all under water, I'm just going to put a little bit of cellophane in there. A good technique for this is getting a freezer bag full of cold water, tying it up and then using the weight of the water to push it down. Going to make sure there's no air trapped underneath there, so you get a little weight on top. And that's going to keep the cabbage fermenting safely in its own liquid. And then, as with any food item, especially fermented stuff, I'm going to pop a little name and date on there, so we know how old it's been on there. Calling this one Susie Sauerkraut. Okay, so once the sauerkraut is in the jar, you've got the film on. Like I said, a freezer bag full of cold water is best because that weighs down the sauerkraut and keeps the cabbage underneath the liquid. Next, you want to put a lid on it. If you're going to put the original jar lid on, you want to make sure that you're burping it on a daily basis, otherwise you have a great big sauerkraut explosion in your house. So make sure each day you release the lid, let the gas out, and then you can put it back down again. What I do is get a piece of muslin cloth, put it over the top with an elastic band, and that allows the gases to come out on a day-to-day basis. Or you can go on Amazon and buy a little fermentation jar and lid. That's a little lid with a little pipe on it, and that allows the gas out.
2,000 years later.
Okay, then after 2 or 3 weeks, you're left with this delicious sauerkraut. I taste it on a week-to-week basis to see how the level of the fermentation is going. When it tastes to the stage that I like it, I'll take it off and I'll put it in the fridge, and it's got like a 4-week shelf life. To be fair, I've never seen sauerkraut go bad, but I've normally finished a jar by the time the 4 weeks is out. You've got this delicious looking cabbage, great on hot dogs, great in Reuben sandwiches, really tasty. Highly recommend doing it, and it's super easy to do. And you know what else is easy? Cabbage roll. Okay, thanks so much for watching. That was my sauerkraut. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, next time in a supermarket, grab a cabbage, grab some sea salt, come home and make your own sauerkraut. You can make a great big huge jar for about £1 compared to the £1.50 jars you get in the supermarket, and as you can see, it's so easy to make and it tastes delicious. Like I always say, homemade food tastes better. So please do so. Next time in the next video, we are planning to make a almost free pesto for your salads and pasta for this summer. We're going to nip down to the local park and get some stinging nettles. It should be fun to watch, so make sure you watch that. We're going to make a stinging nettle pesto. Remember, please support the channel, like, subscribe, click the little bell. If you hit a like on the video, that will tell YouTube we're doing a great job. Thank you very much. Take care now, happy cooking, see you in the next video. That's Gary Moreton-Jones, out.
Papa, what you saying?
Okay, so